Is everyone set? All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. We have a couple updates to share. I'm Providence Mayor Brett Smiley. In a moment, we'll hear from Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee, followed by Providence Police Chief Colonel Oscar Perez, and then Ted Dox from the FBI will share a few words, then we'll take your questions. We are able to report that we have detained a person of interest involved in yesterday's shooting. Colonel Perez will speak in a minute about that update. Second, I want to let the Providence community know that effective immediately, we are lifting the shelter in place for Brown and the related area. Campus communications pushed out an update to that effect a little while ago, and the City of Providence, through our official channels, is making that update now. Again, the shelter in place has been lifted for the City of Providence. Finally, I'll note on just an update on the individuals who are recovering at Rhode Island Hospital. There remain 7 individuals in stable condition, 1 in critical but stable condition, and 1 has been discharged. Those are the 9 individuals injured yesterday. Multiple times about the tremendous cooperation and amount of law enforcement resources that were made available to us. And I want to offer my profound thanks to all the hardworking men and women in law enforcement who worked through the night to be able to get us to this point where we can confirm that there is a person of interest who has been detained. This is exactly the kind of collaboration that we train for and that we hope for. Our partnership with the FBI, with the state police, and obviously the heroic actions of the Providence Police have brought us to this point, but it is with sincere gratitude that we have for our law enforcement partners who work so closely together, seamlessly, throughout the evening and into the morning. At this point, I'll ask Governor McKee to say a few words, and then we'll hear from the Colonel and from the FBI, and we'll take your questions. Governor.
Thanks, Mayor. And we're going to continue to have our thoughts with the families and the individuals that have been impacted by this horrific event. And we're standing again with Brown University, and of course the state of Rhode Island's resources will continue to be there, Mayor, as we proceed with the process. We'll continue to have our state police really on alert for everyone out there so that there's a sense of calmness in the state. And I would just repeat what I said last night, the fact that the state of Rhode Island is in shock, but they're really responding as communities that we all love, and that the communities that we are proud of, the fact that we live in a state that everybody comes together. Again, my thoughts are still centered on those individuals that have lost their lives, and I'm praying that the families will find the strength to be able to deal with this in a way that their lives are not disrupted as much as they probably will be. So we'll keep our state police out there. We'll continue to work with the City of Providence and, of course, Brown University to make sure that everything is being done possible for people feel as though that we're responding in a way to help those who've been impacted by this event. And we'll continue to stand with you as time goes on.
Thank you, Governor. Now we'll hear from Colonel Oscar Perez, Providence Police.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. I'm going to be clear. I'm going to be very limited with what I can share with you all this morning. Again, my condolences and thoughts and prayers with the families that were impacted by these actions. So, as the Mayor stated, we have detained someone of interest, but I respect and to protect the integrity of the investigation, I would only be limited in my details. The next process for us is what we do best, and our detectives is to coordinate with the prosecutors, to collect evidence, to conduct interviews, and then from there, we'll be able to, when it's appropriate and accurate, to share more details with you all. But I'm pleased to say that the mayor stated the collaboration between our federal partners, our different municipalities in the state, is all hands on deck. And, you know, when there's incidents in the city that shock the conscience, we know for a fact that we just step up. And the federal agents, our federal partners, I want to thank them for their assistance, but as well, every single municipality, the state police, and every other chief in the state. We came together as a small state. It impacted a lot of us, the incident that occurred. And so, again, I'm just happy to share with you that we're in the process now of coordinating with prosecution, conducting interviews, and being able to collect evidence so that we can protect the integrity of the investigation and that we can hold the individuals accountable for their actions. So.
Next, we'll hear from Ted Dox from the FBI, who was integral throughout the process and especially early this morning.
No, hopefully for the families, the victims, this community, having these leaders and law enforcement up here and really a community as a whole came together within 24 hours. We talked about a timeline. Within 24 hours, we were able to have a subject of interest that's in custody. I will say that we could not do that without working seamlessly with our partners here. I tell you, not only the Rhode Island State Police, the Colonel has been great, HSI, DEA, also Rhode Island State Police as well. I mean, I tell you, just working with those partners, coming together in a way in which we should, literally not sleeping, working through the night to make sure that we can bring about some type of ease and calm to the community here. And so I just want to thank all of the partners here, the leaders as well, because I tell you, they did not sleep either, and we were on the horn definitely gleefully when we got a person of interest there. And so that's what your FBI does. I tell you, I want to give a personal thanks to not only the investigators, also the intel, the professional support that have been working around the clock, headquarters. We have folks that are actually coming in right now to help work with the victims. But I tell you, that's what your FBI does, and that's what we do with our partners and leaders within the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. We'll take questions.
Was the person taken in custody last night or this morning?
He was detained earlier this morning.
You can tell us where and how it kind of went down.
I can't confirm that for you right now. Again, just to protect the integrity of this investigation, we're talking to the speaking with the Attorney General's office, and we'll be able to provide that at a later date.
Outside the province?
Again, I can't confirm that for you right now. Again, it was just still part of the investigation. We're collecting evidence, and we'll continue to do so. But when appropriate and accurate, we'll be able to share that with you.
Can we ask President Paxton? Can you step to the microphone for us? What would you want to say to the Brown community, the Brown families, the Brown alumni, folks who are watching right now?
Well, everybody is reeling, and we have a lot of recovery ahead of us. So my main goal in the coming days and weeks and months, it will take a long time, is to bring people back together and help them feel safe and secure on campus.
And the resources that you have on campus today, President?
We have, we've pulled out all the stops. We have, religious life, student services, everybody we can just be there to support our community. And I do want to say our DPS has been great, but the law enforcement, the Providence Emergency Management Service team, people from the Nonviolence Institute have been on call. They've been amazing. So just incredible support from the community.
Madam President, can we confirm now that the shooting happened inside a final exam review for the principals of economics class?
That's my understanding, yes.
Is the person of interest affiliated with Brown anywhere? Are they students, staff?
Again, I won't be able to confirm that for you right now. But again, we have somebody and we have detained them, and we'll conduct our investigation. Our detectives will do, and I'm very confident on what they're going to provide for us.
Are you looking for anybody else?
Not at this point, but again, we're still conducting our own investigations.
Could you just sort of walk us through, I recognize you're not going to be able to say very much, but between the 11 o'clock press conference last night and you didn't have somebody, what happened in the hour or however long it took? Was there a breakthrough? Can you give us anything on sort of how you got to where
So as our special agent from the FBI stated, it's all collaboration, it's cooperation, it's all hands on deck. We're picking up on any leads, any tips that come our way, and that's what we do. That's what this department has done for years. And so when some incidents or horrific incidents like this occur, we step up, and we ended up with the results of detaining someone of interest. And again, at a later day when we update you, we'll be able to provide you with the rest of the details, how we came about to stop that individual.
Did the video help at all?
again, this is all evidence that we collect, including the video and including all the items that we have, and again, tips. But I also like to commend the individuals and the citizens of this state. They come forward and provide, and law enforcement officers as well. There's a passion. It's what we do. We're fathers, and we really care. And so it doesn't matter if you're an officer in one point of the state or another. We all work together, and so that's what it comes about. So.
Did more tips come in after you released the video last night? How did that play into the investigation?
Correct. Yeah, it's all tips that we received. Detectives followed up on a lot of them, and again, all the resources, like the federal partners that we have, also followed up on some of the tips. There's 400 plus of police officers. A lot of them came to work. We didn't even know that they would work, and so it all came down to collaboration, cooperation, and that's where we're at now. So.
Can you explain to us what police are doing right now? They've got streets still blocked off. Can you explain to us what...
I'm sorry, Molly. Say that again?
Can you explain to us what police are still doing? They're blocking off streets right now. Can you kind of explain to people to stay clear of that area?
Yeah, again, we're still in the process of collecting evidence, and so we're putting it all together. Policing is very, it's a difficult job. We have to make sure that we protect due process and the integrity of the investigation, so we may collect other evidence, and that's why we're still out there. We haven't, but we're confident enough that we are able to say that we detained somebody of interest. So.
Can you share if there's any updates about what's going to be happening with final exams or final projects beyond what you already shared?
Yeah, I mentioned last night that we had canceled the finals today. There were 4 finals. We're in the process of putting together some announcements and updates with guidance for the coming week.
Chief, there's a question.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi, Chief. Should students still expect to see police and other law enforcement officers walking through campus, knocking on doors? Or?
So absolutely, the command staff and obviously the patrol division, we spoke about this. So we have actually enhanced the presence in the staffing for the day. Just to make sure that people see us, and so yes, we will be out there, and so just like we do, on the weekends, especially like last night was extremely busy. We have several events going on in the city. We have 200,000 population of the city, but on the weekends it picks up, and so just today will be the same, especially with the snow coming down. So we'll have an enhanced, but up here we'll definitely have a presence.
Let me just add to that a little bit. There are still a couple streets closed here proximate to campus as the investigation continues and evidence is collected and such. Throughout the city of Providence, proactively, individuals will see an enhanced police presence, not because there is particular cause for concern or evidence being gathered in another corner or another, but we know that it is a Sunday in the holiday season, and we want folks to feel safer knowing that there are people in a position of authority throughout the city today. We're receiving assistance from the state police to that effect, and so we don't want that to be alarming. We want that to be reassuring to our residents, to our visitors, and those who might be in Providence today. Right immediate to where the incident occurred yesterday, there might still be an enhanced police presence because the investigation is ongoing. But if you see police elsewhere in the city of Providence, please know that we are doing that in a proactive manner for the comfort and reassurance of our community, not because there was evidence there or any cause for concern in the other neighborhoods in Providence.
Mayor, can you talk a little bit about the victims? There was 9. I know you gave us the conditions. Were they students? When we were relaying to the public, should we kind of categorize them?
We are not releasing any information about the victims at this time. We fully expect to provide additional updates today, and in one of the successive updates in the hours to come, we will provide more details on the victims so that we can continue to have an opportunity to communicate with the families and such. So we just need a little bit more time on that.
And 2 fatals?
Yes, that it is still the case that there were 2 fatalities yesterday.
Mayor, you were saying, there's extra police presence around the city today. People shouldn't be alarmed by that. But can people with this person in custody, the city's been on edge all night, people breathe a little easier right now, given that news?
Yeah, the people of Providence should breathe a little easier this morning. The reason that we are here, and as the Colonel has said many times, the investigation with regard to the individual who has been detained is very much ongoing and in the middle of it right now, but we're providing this update specifically so that the people of Providence can breathe a little easier this morning. That is also why we feel confident and comfortable to lift the shelter in place for the city.
Mayor, notably, today is the 13-year anniversary of the Sandy Hook school shooting. How has that helped shape your response a shooting like this, and what more do we need to do?
So, as I mentioned yesterday, our two priorities as of last night were to, one, bring the individual responsible to justice, and that investigation is ongoing, although we had a meaningful update that we've just provided. Two, is our concern for the victims who, as I mentioned, are still, most of whom are still hospitalized. That remains our priority right now. But as everyone mentioned yesterday, the governor, President Paxson, and myself, and this is because of the times in which we live, Sandy Hook and many other instances of violence around our country. Any of us in leadership capacities have had to think about this. We have a generation of kids who have done active shooter trainings. That was not something I had to do when I was a kid. And we all, I think maybe intellectually, we knew it could happen anywhere, including here, but that's not the same as it happening in our community. And so this is an incredibly upsetting and emotional time for Providence, for Brown, for all of us. I'm sorry to say we have thought about this. As we mentioned yesterday, we've all trained for this. This is not something we should have to train for. But we have, including very recently. And that's why we're here not, 16 hours later? 17 hours later? In a positive way, with an update and an investigation that has progressed very quickly. Part of that success is because of the collaboration that we've had between law enforcement agencies. They train regularly for that collaboration. That practice was already there so that we could work so well together with so many resources being offered, which is wonderful that those resources were offered, but they're only as good as you can use them. And we were able to use them because we had trained for this moment. But this is not something any community should have to train for. And so there'll be plenty of time to talk about what should happen, what should have happened in our society and in our community. But right now, our priorities remain the same as they were yesterday, which is to bring the individual responsible to justice, and there's an investigation that is ongoing but making good progress, and to ensure the full and complete recovery of the survivors of this attack who are still at Rhode Island Hospital and whose status has not degraded, and we should all thank God for that. And so we plan on providing additional updates throughout the day today, but to the earlier question, yes, the community in Providence should breathe at least a small sigh of relief at this moment.
President Paxson, a similar question that was just asked, unfortunately, to have rounds to be listed. Sandy Hook, the names unfortunately come up, so just what's your reaction to?
Well, I mean, when something like this happens, as the mayor said, it's something we think about, we have prepared for in coordination with the local law enforcement. But when it happens, it's just hard to believe. And our community's strong, and we'll get through it. But it's devastating, and I know it is for the entire Providence community too.
You all mentioned there were over 400 police officers last night. Has that number increased with this enhancement, or it stayed the same?
So we have reduced it at this point. And so, yeah, but as the mayor stated, we'll make sure that just enhance the law enforcement for the day and just because of the different events that are going on in the city. So,
do you have a number?
At this point, so we'll have 30 car posts that are working, and that includes, on top of that, we have detectives that are working, we have task forces that are working, I'm working, the commander, we haven't slept, so there'll be a lot of us out there. So.
Chief, for our Telemundo audience, do you mind speaking in Spanish? Just a quick recap on its safety for outside.
Sure, thank you, gracias. So, para explicarle a nuestra comunidad que realmente hasta el momento hemos cogido una persona que es de interés a la policía y vamos a seguir investigando. Al momento estamos coordinando con lo que es el fiscal, estamos coordinando también colectando evidencia, estamos coordinando en tomar testimonios y de ahí vamos ya cuando tengamos la información apropiada y que sea correcta, la vamos a dar a la comunidad para que ellos entiendan que tenemos a la persona ya arrestada en el momento que eso venga. Pero hasta el momento me gustaría darle las gracias a nuestros partners federales y también a las otras municipalidades y a los otros policías, aquí departamentos que trabajamos en un momento de cooperación para poder llegar a este momento. Y más tarde vamos a dar lo que es decirles más de lo que ha pasado y también darles información si metemos a alguien, si arrestamos a alguien. De todas maneras, me gustaría agradecer a lo que es la unidad, la colaboración. Es importantísima. En las últimas horas muchos de los policías no han dormido para llegar a este momento. Y entonces estamos ahí para tener unos buenos resultados y me siento confortable que esta ciudad en este momento puede respirar un poquito más tranquila.
Great. Last question.
Yesterday you said the person of interest you believe was in their 30s. Is that still accurate?
I'm sorry.
You said the person of interest maybe in their 30s. Is that still accurate?
Correct, yes.
We will keep you posted on additional updates. We do expect to brief throughout the day today as other relevant details become available. We will continue to notify you all through the same press list. Again, if you're not on the press list, please see Josh. He'll get you on the press list, but otherwise we'll post with adequate warning when we plan on briefing again. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chief, one more thing. It's a man.
What's that?
It's a man.
It's a male detail, correct, yeah. Yes, yes. Takes me a little while to go back and forth. That's why I couldn't get that question.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. That's a good plan. Thank you. Yeah. Mine's. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, I have one. That's good. Think you'd be able to lower that just a little bit? It's the absence of gappers too. Yeah. Stuff's invaluable. Thank you. Yep.
President, please. Good evening, everybody. Again, I'm Providence Mayor Brett Smiley. We're here to provide an update on the ongoing investigation from this afternoon's horrific attack and terrible act of violence in our community. In just a moment, we'll hear from our Governor Dan McKee, and from Brown University President Chris Paxson. Then there are other officials, including and especially law enforcement officials, who are here and able to answer questions. But the three of us will be the only formal speakers, and then we'll take all of your questions and continue to try to be as transparent as possible. As I mentioned at the earlier update, this is an evolving situation, and there are details that are subject to change, and so we want to continue to recognize that we're not done yet, and so we will continue to update, and please bear with us if we learn more or if there are additional details. One of the new details that I'm sorry to have to share is that there is one additional victim of today, so now there are 9 injured individuals. There was one additional victim who had left the scene. It was not a gunshot wound. The individual learned that they had received fragments from the shooting that had occurred near them, and so they have non-life-threatening injuries, but is now the 9th victim who is is expected to have a full recovery. Additionally, we want to make sure the community knows the individual responsible is still at large, but importantly, at the conclusion of this press update, we will be releasing a short video showing an image of the suspect. That will be available to all of you when we've finished this briefing. We know there's a lot of fear and anxiety in the community right now, and we want folks to know that while it is the case that the shelter in place remains in effect for the broader Brown community, that includes campus and the neighborhoods surrounding the campus, we are doing everything we can, and we've been receiving tremendous assistance from our partners in law enforcement. The governor, under his leadership with the state police, has been terrific. The FBI, the ATF, and many communities around Rhode Island have assisted. There are over 400 officers currently in the area assisting with both the investigation and to ensure the safety of the Providence community. Additionally, Providence Fire has been deployed to venues of assembly. We know that this is a busy time. It's a Saturday night in the holiday season, and so you may see firefighters at the mall, at PPAC, at Roger Williams Park, and we don't want anyone to be concerned that there are any issues, but rather we want folks who are out in the community tonight to see a person in a position of authority and to feel safe in our community. We have no reason to believe that there are any additional threats at this time. Any calls that have been received in the last several hours to 911 have been unrelated, and there have been no additional calls for service or calls of anything related to this incident. The video that will be released is from that building where the shooting occurred, which is the Barris and Holly building, looking towards Hope Street. And as I mentioned, that will be shared as soon as we conclude. We are still encouraging, as we did earlier, for anyone who thinks that they might have information relevant to the investigation to call the police, the Providence Police non-emergency line, which is 401-272-3121, 401-272-3121. Of course, you can also call 911, but if you have information that you think might be able to assist in our investigation, please give us a call. At this time, I'd like to turn the mic over to our Governor, Dan McKee, who's been in touch with federal, state partners and has been a tremendous assistance to us here in Providence throughout the evening. Governor?
Okay, Mayor, and thank you for your leadership and all your entire team. And our job right now is to support your team, and we're doing just that. All our state resources are available, not only to the mayor, but also Brown University, which our hearts go out to Brown University. I have had calls along with the mayor, with the FBI director, Patel, who's offered assistance to us as well, a direct assistance. I just received a call from the President Trump as well, expressing the same type of urgency and the same type of offers to respond to us in a way that we, one, keep people safe, but also, two, we're going to make sure that we catch the individual that brought so much suffering to so many people. And so with that, I would just say that we're going to continue to work together. State police is on board. We know that there's going to be need for some counseling strategies, so we've already activated that through our health department. And we'll make sure that we take the lead from the mayor and then provide all the assistance we possibly can along with your lead as well, President Paxton. So with that, I'll give the mic back to you.
Thank you, Governor. Now we'll introduce Brown University President Christine Paxson. Brown PD was the first to respond and has been an incredible partner, and we have two priorities right now as a community. One, to bring the individual responsible to justice, and two, to pray for the full recovery of those affected. The Brown community's heart is breaking, and Providence's heart is breaking along with it. We are a week and a half away from Christmas, and all of us are getting calls from concerned families, parents, employees, relatives, and so, President, we just want you to know that Providence and Brown stand together today, tomorrow, and in the months ahead. Please.
Thank you. Yes, this is the day that one hopes never happens, and it has. I really appreciate everything that the local law enforcement and everybody is doing to help find this person, make sure that we can be safe as a community. Our focus right now is on supporting the families who have been affected by this, the families of the two students who sadly lost their lives today, as well as the 8, now 9 students who are in the hospital. We've been in touch with their families. I will talk to them soon. But, you know, we will come together as a community and we'll get through this. Currently, the students are still all on lockdown, as are people in the area. And hopefully we can get them back to their dorms and feeling safe and secure as soon as possible. But thank you for everything you're doing there.
Thank you, Chris. We'll take questions for law enforcement personnel, anyone who's here today, and share as much information as we can at this time.
Can we,
Dan
Jay from Channel 10, Mayor, you know, can you talk a little bit about what we're going to see in this video? Or can
Commander?
Chief Oates?
We're going to ask Commander O'Hara to answer that question.
Sure. What you're going to see is a video from the building where this incident took place, 184 Hope Street. It's of who we believe is the suspect, leaving that area, walking on Hope Street, and taking a right on Waterman towards the water. He's going to be wearing dark clothing. You're not going to be able to see his face. Dark gray or black clothing. And some of the witnesses have also told us that he may have been wearing a camouflage gray mask. That is unconfirmed. But if anybody should recognize this person in any way, seen him earlier, recognize his gait, obviously we want to know about that as soon as possible.
You had said, or somebody had said, and I want to make sure we're correct in reporting this, that he may have walked out of a building. And I'm wondering, how did he get access to the building, and is there video from inside the building?
That I don't have the answer if there's video inside that building that depicts him. There is video inside that building. However, I haven't seen him on video inside that building. And he did walk out of the building.
So can you explain that to me in all of us? So he was in the building, but we don't have video of him in the building.
We haven't recognized him in the video yet. We do see some video from inside the building of a commotion. Clearly students are running. However, we don't have from the video that I've seen so far, we don't have the suspect depicted in a video.
Is there any reason to believe this is international terrorism, or is this just some disgruntled student?
That we don't know yet.
A disgruntled student that just came in to shoot up because he was upset about final exams or something like that?
We're not sure.
Commander, have you been getting tips since the last briefing?
Yes, some tips have been coming in, and we have been running them down. We're going to be using the assistance of the FBI to categorize all the tips that come in so that we have it in an orderly format for us to look at. But yes, we have had some tips. None of them have worked out for us yet.
Do you think, do you have a better idea than we did just 3 hours ago, since at least now you have a visual image?
Yes, a little bit better, but we're still not there yet, John.
Has law enforcement
Ian.
done inside the building?
Ian first.
Commander, has law enforcement done any building-by-building search of the area, surrounding area?
Yes, we have. We've gone through some buildings. We've made sure that students that who barricaded themselves in were safe. We removed them, and they're now in a reunification center.
How far has that search gone into the residential area around Brown?
It's gone to all the buildings that we think that were affected by it. Any student that called us and said that they were barricaded and they didn't feel safe, those are the buildings that we checked.
Deputy Chief, does that video show a gun?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't show a gun? And also, Mayor, the President confirmed that all of the victims are students at Brown University.
I can't confirm that. I don't have that information to confirm.
That's what you just said, right?
That's what I've been told, yes.
That all of the victims, including the 2 that passed, are students at Brown University.
The last one who came in recently, I'm not sure.
Okay.
There was a question over here.
There was blood stains on the
sidewalk of watermen with clothing, were all the shots done within the building, or were they shot outside?
Well, the incident took place inside the building.
Inside,
Yes.
there were bloodstains and clothing outside the building.
Can you say
Where in the building did it happen?
It happened inside of a classroom,
Do you know what floor?
first floor.
Has the weapon been found, if it wasn't in the video?
No, it hasn't.
Have you talked to any of the
Sorry,
victims?
Steph.
Can you walk us through what you now know about the timeline of events? What time did the suspect walk into the building, and how quickly did he begin shooting? Did he go straight for the classroom? And was it the students who were taking the finals?
I don't know what the students were doing in this classroom. However, I don't also know how he entered the building that we're working on.
Okay, so you don't know that yet. And is the suspect of college age? Does he seem in the video?
He could be in his 30s, but we're not positive. That's our first inclination. Pat.
Sir, can you speak to the type of presence from the federal government that's on the ground right now, and what type of personnel do you expect in the coming days, specifically tomorrow?
So right now we're working with ATF and the FBI, who are present right now. Those are the federal agents that we're working with.
Deputy Chief, based on the bullets, Deputy Chief, do we know what kind of gun?
We don't have the gun identified yet, no.
What type of activity are they engaged in? Are they doing data collection, evidence collection?
Data collection, evidence collection, and video collection. Go ahead.
How many other people were inside the classroom?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know how many students were in there.
President Paxton, could you maybe answer some of the questions about the Brown students? What was that class there for? Was it a final exam? You're the president, you must know.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know that.
Okay.
Sir, you had a question?
Yes.
Go.
So have the shelter-in-place orders or evacuation spread to other parts of the city? Because we've heard that happened at the moment.
No, they have not. The shelter-in-place has not changed. It remains in effect for the Brown campus and the surrounding neighborhood. City of Providence, you know if you live near Brown, that's where the shelter-in-place is in effect. It is not in effect in other neighborhoods because we have no reason to believe that there is any particular threat beyond the campus area at this time. As I mentioned at the press briefing before this, I'll reiterate right now. In this day and age, there is a lot of misinformation that can spread as it pertains to official updates regarding the shelter-in-place or any future announcements. Please follow the City of Providence official social media channels. We've also put out updates through our 311 system, but the City of Providence on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram will be updating throughout the evening. If that did not come from an official channel, then it is not official. Right now, the shelter-in-place is the same as it had been earlier, and it remains the same.
Mayor,
Please, Ed.
How is the shelter-in-place message being conveyed to the neighborhoods? Is it just through the media, or are you making phone calls?
So we have all of the above. We have conveyed it through the media. We've conveyed it through our official social media channels. We've pushed it out through our 311 system, which is the city service system. We've been in touch with our city council leaders throughout the neighborhood, including our councilman John Gonsalves from this neighborhood, who have their own distribution channels through newsletters and such. And for all of you who are Rhode Islanders, you know this is a close-knit community. That is our strength, particularly in this moment. We are all in touch with our neighbors. We are all in touch with our loved ones at this moment, and we are sharing information as directly and honestly as we can, and we will continue to push out updates through those same various channels.
How long do you expect to be on?
Please, in the way back.
Is there any indication of when students who are sheltering in place in public campus buildings, when they will be allowed to at least leave and go to those relocation sites?
There is no notification about when that might end because we will make that announcement when we feel like it is safe to do so. And so we don't have a timeline on that, and nor should we have a timeline on that. Safety is the primary concern right now, and bringing the responsible individual to justice is our top priority.
Is it your belief that there's just one suspect or people helping him? And if people are helping him, Deputy, what is your message to people that might be aiding, because it's been 6 hours and, no one knows.
So he's unidentified, so we don't know if people may be helping him or not at this point.
But if you assume that, what's your message to anyone that may know who he is or helping him or hiding
They
him?
know who he is. Please call us as soon as possible.
Dan and Steph.
I ask this with all due respect, Deputy Chief, just so I'm trying to process this so we can bring this person to justice. He was in the building, but we don't have video of him in the building, or we have video, we just don't know if it's him. Do you think that he went into a bathroom, got dressed, and then came out? And secondly, could the president of the university address, does anybody have access to that building? I mean, you can't go in a building without a pass key anywhere, so.
I'll take both of those. As has been said, and we'll say again, the video that we have and the video that we will be sharing when we conclude this update is of the suspect leaving the building.
Right.
We are combing through lots of video, both on campus, through private cameras. Providence Police, with the great assistance from our federal partners and others, is combing through any video we can find. And again, to the community, if you have some of those Ring cameras or other video that you think might be relevant, please call us and share it with us. We do not at this time have video that we have seen of the individual coming into the building or moving throughout the building, but that doesn't mean that we will not discover it. We are actively working this investigation as we speak. It has been a priority for us to give updates when we have them. That's why we're here right now. When we have more information, we will share it. As was reported at the earlier press conference from the provost, because there were exams taking place, the outer doors of the building were unlocked. There were sure to be doors inside the building that were locked and that require badge access, but the outer doors were unlocked because it was 4 o'clock while exams were taking place. That was reported earlier. That remains true now. Please, Steph.
Do you have any reason to believe that the shooter is still in the area?
We don't know.
President Paxson, could you talk directly to the students? They've been on lockdown. What about meals? What if someone has a medical emergency?
Right.
If you could talk directly to the students right now.
President, if you could walk behind the stand.
That have been in.
I mean, I know the students are anxious, and I know they're in very constant communication with loved ones and parents through social media and on their phones. If we hear that students need support, if they have a medical issue or something like that, we will address it. Our major priority right now is for their safety.
President Paxson, could you confirm that several of the victims were on the women's lacrosse team?
I cannot confirm that.
President, how are you doing tonight? You processing all this?
Yeah, it's hard to process. I was on a plane to D.C. when it happened and flew right back, and I'm catching up right now.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after the shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom. How does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know.
6 hours later, you're the president, and you don't know.
I do not know.
Mayor, do they have any showcasings as evidence as a result of any determinations they made about the style of weapon?
Yes, there's shell casings, but we're not going to release any specific information about that type of evidence.
As more time goes by, do you think that without having the identity of the suspect, do you think that aids in his ability to get further away from law enforcement?
As I mentioned, we've got over 400 officers on the ground right now. Every minute matters. We know every minute matters. And other than the people you see standing behind you, everyone else right now is out on the streets working hard to bring this individual to justice and to bring some confidence and safety and security to our residents. And that's what all the people who should be doing that are focused on. We will continue to provide updates as they are available. We will continue to do regular briefings. Please stay informed to our press list. If you are not on our press list, please let us know. You can find any of the individuals back there who can sign you up for the press list. That's all the updates we have for this time. We will share the video that was referred to several times to that same list. So if you need to be on the email list, you can see Josh here, or a couple other staff people in the back. Thank you. Those are our updates for now. That's all the time we have, and we will be back here when we have more to share. We will continue to do regular updates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Josh is going to send it.
Is it email?
Mayor, is this
It's an
yours?
email.
Is there another press conference tonight?
Jack Reed in a moment on behalf of Rhode Island's federal delegation who've been in touch with us throughout this incident over the last day. And as both the governor and I have said on multiple occasions, the amount of federal resources and cooperation that we've received is extraordinary. And that extends to our representatives here in Rhode Island. And then finally, Colonel Oscar Perez will give an update as well. At this time, we have no update to share on the investigation. It is ongoing. There's no reason to believe that we've hit any roadblocks other than to say that we are doing what we know how to do in cooperation with our law enforcement partners to ensure that we adequately, thoroughly investigate the situation, and when we are ready to make a further announcement, we will do so. We know there's some information circulating, but we will not share any information that might compromise our investigation or future charges. So at this time, we have no official updates to share with respect to the investigation. Next, it's clear that our community is still in shock and hurting. And now that the initial phase of the investigation has made some progress, we're turning our attention to caring for our neighbors, both the Brown community, the broader Providence community, and truly all of Rhode Island. The City of Providence has stood up a website, the address of which is providenceri.gov/community response resources. There you can find a long list of community resources for mental health care, what to do in the event of trauma, how to help talk about events like this with your kids, to try to help families, neighbors, community members start to understand how to process that which has been so difficult for us. Finally, the Providence City Council, who've been excellent partners, and again, we're joined by leaders from the City Council, including the councilman for this area, Councilman John Gonsalves, is inviting the Providence community and really anyone who'd like to join us tonight at 5 p.m. at Lippitt Park, where there had been a previous plan to light a Christmas tree and to light a menorah for the first night of Hanukkah. And for those who know at least a little bit of the Hanukkah story, it is quite clear that if we can come together as a community and shine a little bit of light tonight, I think there's nothing better that we could be doing as a community. And so please know you're all invited to Lippitt Park tonight at 5 o'clock. Lippitt Park is at 1008 Hope Street, and all are welcome. Certainly Providence Police and other folks will be on hand to make sure that we are all can be in community without any concerns tonight. I'd like to note that Family Services is here with us today, Margaret Holland McDuff. She is one of those community resources that has become available. I'd like to also acknowledge that United Way of Rhode Island and their 211 system has been helping, and leaders from the Nonviolence Institute have been assisting with families in the hospitals. Additionally, Treasurer James Diosa and his Victim Compensation Fund has already been in touch to ensure that his office is doing everything that they can. Before I turn it over to the governor, I'll just share that a couple hours ago I was at the hospital. I know President Paxton has been several times, but I had a chance to meet with a few victims and their families. And while they are receiving excellent medical care, and I want to thank the professionals at Brown Health and Rhode Island Hospital, the professionalism, these folks, just like our law enforcement professionals, have been up all night working, but the level of care and professionalism that they are exhibiting is extraordinary. These survivors are receiving excellent care, and the resilience that these survivors showed and shared with me is frankly pretty overwhelming. It pales in comparison what they've gone through for the rest of us here. We're all saddened and scared and tired, but what they've been through is something entirely different, and yet they showed courage and hope and gratitude for how this community has stood up for them and how the healthcare providers cared for them. A couple of the family members who I had a chance to speak with are so grateful for what they've seen and heard of the outpouring of support from this community, and so I want to relay that to all of you, that they're watching what's happening also, and their healing is improved based upon all of the positivity and love and care that they've seen from not just the Rhode Island community, but frankly the national community, and so thank you. Governor McKee has been an incredible partner through all of this, and I'm grateful for his leadership and the compassion that he's shown and the relentless focus he's had on those individuals who are recovering in the hospital right now, and I'd like to invite the governor to say a few words.
So today, Brown students and the community is suffering, and they're in pain. So please let President and the Brown community know that we stand with you. So as we start this second day of this tragedy, I do feel as though it's important to really point out Mayor Smiley and his team, first responders, state police and our federal partners, Brown University, the staff at the hospitals, and as the mayor said, the media who has been able to really put out the information that I'm sure is going to help accelerate the fact that we have someone in custody. The mental health support. The community needs our compassion and our support as the process of this horrific event unfolds. As governor and as a Rhode Islander, I get to speak on behalf of the people of the state of Rhode Island, as a dad, as a grandparent. It hits home to us, all of us, me included. While the suspect has been detained, our work as a state is not over. As governor, I'm committing to the city and to Brown and the broader community that has been impacted by this to make sure everyone who needs assistance, mental health assistance, can access them. Last night we activated the state's trauma response team to help coordinate mental health resources with all partners. And to everyone in the nation, because this is a national event. I've had calls, like I said, personal calls with Hawaii, Dad that has a freshman at Brown University, to everybody out there in the country. Please send your prayers here to Rhode Island. And to all Rhode Islanders, let's do what we do best. Let's stand by and support our neighbors when they most need it. And we stand ready to do exactly that.
Thank you, Governor. I'd like to invite Senator Jack Reed to say a few words on behalf of the congressional delegation.
On behalf of Senator Whitehouse, Congressman Magaziner, Congressman Amo, I first want to express our profound condolences to those families who've lost a loved one and to those families who are struggling with a seriously injured child. We offer not only our sympathies but our prayers for a speedy recovery. I must commend the leadership. Mayor Smiley has done a superb job. The governor has done a superb job. The president, President Paxson, and the Provost Doyle have also stepped up and done a superb job. We are also, I think, particularly indebted to the police officers and the firefighters from Providence, the Brown University Police Department, many departments, both police and fire from across the state of Rhode Island, our state police, and a special word of praise and thanks to our federal law enforcement officers, the FBI, the ATF. They have been instrumental, critical in the progress of this investigation so far. I received a call from Attorney General Pam Bondi, and I shared my praise and thanks for the assistance of federal authorities. This has been a horrible, terrible moment. But in moments like this, we see the best of Rhode Island. The firefighters, the policemen, the civic leaders, neighbors who come together, and let us celebrate that community. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Finally, we'll hear from Providence Police Chief Colonel Oscar Perez.
Thank you, Mayor. So yeah, the message is the same. I'll echo the message from the mayor earlier as far as where are we with the investigation. I'll tell you that right now the investigation continues to progress extremely fast. We're in the process of collecting evidence and seizing items that we need to seize, search locations that we need to search. I want to commend the response, the quick response of ATF, FBI. As the items get seized and collected, obviously they will provide the resources and the equipment that we need to ensure that we have the right legal requirements and facts in order to be able to provide that so that we can move along. I also want to commend the Attorney General's office, who has been standing by us to ensure that, our process is continuing in a proper manner. And so that's where we're at with it. We'll continue. It's a complex investigation. I know there's some speculations out there about names, and I'm not here to confirm or comment. I know you're going to ask me that as far as names. I'll tell you that I'm not going to confirm or comment, because in the years that I have in this department, in this police department, we stand on grounded facts, not a speculation. And at that point, we'll be able to, once we're ready and we have the appropriate and accurate information, we'll be able to update you with that. My goal is that we're able to have that information as soon as possible. But again, I tell you that respectfully, and I have the responsibility to respect the integrity of this investigation. I think that is complex. Any detective that worked last night and all the agents that worked last night, I have responsibility to respect the work that they're doing. And so when we're ready to provide you with that info and to come to give you the right info, I will make sure that you get that updated. So.
Colonel managed to establish any connection between the suspects and the university. Why did the suspect target the university?
So that's all part of the investigations that we're conducting, and again, it's complex. And we want to make sure that once we have, at the appropriate time, give you the accurate information, we'll be able to provide that information for you in that answer. Go ahead, John.
Colonel, the person of interest, is that the same individual that we saw on the surveillance video you released?
So again, I'm not going to speculate. I want to make sure that if I give you an answer, it's grounded on facts. Okay. And so we're getting to that point, but it's going to take time. Detective work is not something that you can answer or solve within a minute. It takes time, and we have to make sure that we have the right evidence in order to prosecute somebody properly. So.
Colonel, what led you to Coventry? What led you to Providence Police there, Coventry Police, FBI?
So I'm not going to confirm or comment on locations again, John. I'll tell you that I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm telling you is the fact that we're going to continue progressing on this complex investigation to make sure that we have all the facts together in order to be able to give you what you're asking.
Do you feel better now than you did last night at midnight?
Absolutely. I think the great work of the men and women of this department, the collaboration with the different federal agencies, the fact that we are standing here all together and we all stepped up and we're making sure that we have the right answers and that we can continue on to bring peace, as the mayor stated, and calm to this city. It's a beautiful city, and it's something that we take pride of. And so, yes, I feel much better.
Colonel, over here, sir.
Pat, and then the guy
Can you
behind.
talk to us about the process?
The most common question I've gotten for the last 24 hours, it revolves around the fact that Brown University is the most camera-ridden, most responsive piece of real estate in Rhode Island, and yet there seems to be little or no video evidence outside of that clip. You know, respecting the investigation, is there a lot more video that we're just not able to see yet because of the ongoing investigation, or is there simply no video?
So what we shared with you the other day is what we have that we could share, and then we'll continue to, again, we're continuing to collect evidence. As we speak, we have detectives out there trying to continue to find. So I don't want to tell you that there's no more video, because we might find something within the next few minutes. So yes, it's possible, but what we gave you the other day is what we have. Go ahead.
So, Colonel, if you wouldn't mind, 2 questions here. Can you talk to us about the process of releasing this 10-second clip to now someone's in custody, kind of how you all are working together to garner that information? Someone being detained, rather.
Correct. And so, yeah, someone being detained, it led us to that point as far as, like, when we started, obviously, it's a fast move. It's a quick response right from the beginning. Once we get the call, and you pull up to a scene, obviously, as chaotic as it was, and then it gets to a point that now we're asking the public for help. Tips come in, federal agents come in. At that point, private police response, detectives get to do the work, and so that's where we started. And then we ended up getting, obviously, to a point where we find someone of interest, we bring him in, but we're I'm pretty confident in the work that the men and women have done of the department, but I got to respect their work. Some of them have gone to sleep. And so I have to respect the fact that they're going to continue and give us what we need in order to be able to prosecute somebody properly. Yes.
And then second question here.
Ciertamente que este departamento trabaja muy duro para encontrar respuestas. En este momento esto fue una situación muy trágica en la ciudad de Providence, pero me gustaría acordarle a la comunidad que este departamento siempre se responde de una manera muy importante y tenemos una persona en este momento que es de interés. Estamos colectando la evidencia que es necesaria para legalmente presentarlo a la corte para así ponerle los cargos que se necesitan presentar. En este momento tenemos unas ayudas y recursos de las agencias federales, también como del fiscal del estado y también de otras personas, pero yo quiero respetar el trabajo de mis detectives y tener lo que necesitamos para poder presentar a alguien en la corte positivamente.
¿Y el llamado al público para colaborar en la investigación cuál es?
Sí, muchísimas gracias al público. De pronto si tienen alguna evidencia en este momento, pasaron por ahí y tienen algo que es importante para la policía, tenemos diferentes tip lines y también tenemos la oportunidad de que entren a la policía, nos llaman y si necesitan que un policía vaya a la casa de ellos para recoger esa evidencia, lo haremos.
Colonel, can you confirm whether the person of interest is from Rhode Island and have you found the weapon that was used?
Again, I'm not going to confirm a comment because I think this, I have a responsibility to respect the integrity of this investigation. It's a process and it's complex, and I don't want to be the one to stain that process. At this point, no, correct. And so that's the other thing. I'm not going to speculate on something without grounded facts. If we're going to charge someone, then we're going to charge somebody, and I'm going to come here and tell you, you'll be the first ones to know.
How about the weapon? Have you found the weapon?
Again, we're in the process of collecting evidence. We're in the process of typing search warrants as needed, and we're in the process of doing what we need to do in order to be able to get those items.
Have you started
right here?
We heard of some people who work in the building who say they had some safety concerns, specifically with the lack of cameras in this building where the shooting took place. Do you know if there were cameras in the building? What was the security like in that building?
Again, I'm not going to comment as far as what's at this facility or what you're being told by or what information you're getting from somebody, but I can comment on the fact that we are working with what we have, and obviously we have somebody that's at the police station, a person of interest, and we're going to continue to build that case in order to be able to charge that person.
Mayor Smiley.
The director is saying that they found this person of interest in a Coventry hotel because of a tip from the Providence police. Can you confirm that? The FBI director is saying that.
Because of a tip of the Providence police. Again, I'm not going to.
The FBI director is saying that they found the person of interest in a Coventry hotel because of a tip from the Providence.
So me personally, I'm not going to comment on what was told by another agency. What I'm telling you is the fact that we're going to continue this investigation. We're going to respect the integrity of it, and we're going to work closely with the Attorney General's office in order to be able to prosecute this person in the proper manner.
Colonel, what do you say to parents around the country and around the world? There are many international students at Brown who are sitting here today wondering how a gunman was able to get so close to students. Did they have a swipe card? Were they let in somehow? What do you tell parents?
I tell the parents that this is a great city. Brown has been an icon in the city. I think that this is an unfortunate incident. But I'll tell the parents that if the kids are going to come to the city, to be sure that we're going to do what we need to make sure that they're safe. And if horrific incidents like this happen, we're going to do what we need to do to make sure that we hold those people accountable.
Governor McKee.
About the victims, can you give us any information about, the people who died, if they were students, or is there going to get their names at all?
As far as we understand, due to some travel, not all of the victims' families have been notified. And so I hope everyone can respect the fact that we cannot share victim information if we have not yet first notified the families. It is around the holidays, and there are some people in transit, and so we need to allow for contact to be made before additional information is shared. I'm sorry that we're not able to share more. And I will just say, I know, and I said this at the outset, I know it is frustrating that we cannot share additional information on the investigation to date. However, as has been said now for almost 24 hours, bringing the individual responsible for this horrific act in our city to justice remains our top priority, along with the healing of their survivors. Bringing that person to justice means having a thorough, complete, and tight investigation, which then can be prosecuted successfully. That's how we bring justice to the individuals involved here. And so while it may be frustrating for certain members of our community to feel like we're not being fully forthcoming with some of the details, the reason that we are not sharing details that are unconfirmed is that it could compromise our prosecution. And hopefully everyone can appreciate that the top priority is in fact bringing a semblance of justice and closure. And the way in which we do that is with the strongest case possible that we can present, that the Attorney General will prosecute. And so we will not share any details that we feel could compromise that future prosecution for the sake of justice for the families.
Mayor Smiley, over here, sir. We know we've spoken to students who have been the victims of shootings in high school, and now they're attending Brown, describing this as a uniquely American experience to go through not one but two school shootings. What do you feel needs to be done to keep this from happening, to stop that cycle of violence? And President Paxton, if you want to weigh in as well, ma'am.
Yeah, there's going to be many days, months, or I'm not sure how long, of both healing, but of also moments to advocate for what might need to change. I'm speaking for myself, at least, that's not today. We still have an active investigation underway. We still have students in the hospital. I won't be shy about sharing what I think needs to be done to make my community safer, but I'm not doing that today. What I will say is when I was at the hospital today, one of the students that showed tremendous courage literally said to me, you know, that active shooter drill they made me do in high school actually helped me in the moment. Which at the same time provided me hope and was so sad. We shouldn't have to do active shooter drills, but it helped. And the reason it helped and the reason we do these drills is because it's so damn frequent. And so there'll be plenty of time, at least from my office, and I don't speak for any of the other public officials here. They're welcome to share if they so choose. There'll be plenty of time to talk about what advocacy and policy changes should be made. But we're still very, very much hard at work at the task at hand, and that is to be able to bring charges forward on the person responsible. Sir?
And then can you just go through the nature of the conditions again? I know you did that this morning, but is everybody out of the woods?
The conditions have not changed as far as I understand. And so, as was said earlier this morning, one individual has been discharged. One individual remains in critical but stable condition, and the other 7 are in stable condition. I will say I had conversations with 4 of the students, and they were talking to their healthcare providers, and so if there are status changes, we'll be sure to share them.
Mayor, I have a question for you. People are asking, are you expecting to do continuous status updates throughout the day, such as this, or can they expect at a future press conference that there'll be additional information? What is your plan for keeping the public informed throughout this afternoon?
Yeah, thank you. Our expectation is that this is likely our last press conference here at the Brook Street Fire Station. We set up here last night because we're on the edge of campus. There was a lot of work happening all around us. They're still processing evidence on campus, but that crime scene is wrapping up. Most of the streets, other than immediately outside of the building, have been reopened. And so we do expect to provide future updates. We will likely provide those at the Providence Public Safety Complex, and we will provide them as there are meaningful updates to share. I know that it can be frustrating for some when the update is that there's no update. But in the absence of progress, and what's important is that the investigation take the time that it needs to be right. And so when we have no update to share, we will say there's no update to share. And when we have news to share, we will share that news. But our expectation is that this is our last press conference here at the Brook Street Fire Station as we're entering sort of a new chapter as the immediate crime scene winds down and we move on to what we hope will be a prosecution and to try to help our community heal. And we talk more about things like community resources, which we've announced today.
You mentioned family services. There's a crisis support line that you might be able to...
Thank you, Governor. Yes, for Rhode Islanders, Family Service of Rhode Island also has a crisis support line. The phone number is 401-854-6678. That's 854-6678. And the folks at Family Service of Rhode Island are extraordinary professionals who unfortunately have a lot of experience in this area. and are a resource available to us. And I know Margaret Holland McDuff from Family Services is here, and we're grateful for her help along the way.
Colonel, one more question, Colonel. Do you need anything from the public? In other words, is there still possibly someone out there that may have information that you need? Or, I mean, the students are now being allowed to leave the campus. Does that mean that there's no potential witness here? Where does it stand that the public could help?
Thank you, John. I think that, yeah, the call out to the public is to, evidence that they think might be worth it for us to look at. Anything that they suspect would be important for the police department to look at. So we're definitely, we welcome that. And so the message is please reach out. I think that that's one of the strongest things the Providence Police Department has is the partnership that we have with our different community members, as well as different colleges throughout the city. And so if they think that there's something that's important to us, please send it our way, because we'll definitely use it. It might be something that's important that you may think is not, but for us it is. So.
Colonel, can we describe him as a man in his 30s still? Can we still describe him as a man in his 30s, person of interest? A man in his 30s?
The person detained is actually a person in his 20s.
Can you clarify, is this officially a suspect? Is this someone in custody? What should we call this person? Have they been arrested?
You should call this person that we detain someone of interest at this point.
Detain someone
What's
of
the
interest?
difference? From what I understand, Brown has sirens on their campus, emergency sirens to alert people in cases like this. Did those sirens go off, and if not, why?
So yesterday, when I don't think they went off, and I believe the fact is it was fast. We had a quick response here to the police department, but there was a message. I'm not sure if that call went out. So.
Chief, I don't know if it went out.
The sirens did not go off. Their original information that we received was from the officer who did not receive the call. The officer saw some of the students running from the location, and so it was an immediate response.
Colonel, one more question.
Hold on, John.
Can you talk about just what went into alerting the greater Brown area community, people who aren't Brown residents, maybe RISD students or faculty, people in that area? What went into alerting others?
For our community, it was our emergency notification system, some of which is shared by RISD. The rest was from the city of Providence.
Colonel, can you just, Colonel?
Go ahead, please.
I know Colonel Captain Perez. Can you tell us, does the person of interest have any connection to the Brown University community? And there was some report that he went into that building and yelled in the classroom. Do you have any more information about that?
So again, it's all details that are important. It's all part of the complex investigation that I spoke about earlier. I'm not ready to confirm or comment on any of that. Again, I got to respect the process. And so at this point, we're just going to continue like the mayor stated. It's complex, but we want to make sure that we have a successful prosecution. And that's more important to me than right now to give you something that just, it could, it's not appropriate.
Can you just address,
Colonel, have you started process of search warrants, any sort of legal process to sort of figure out any motive?
Yeah, so at this point, we're coordinating with the Attorney General's office. We're working very closely with them. We're collecting evidence. We're in the process also of interviewing individuals. And so that's where we're at now. That's
a state prosecution as opposed to a federal?
That's correct, sir, yes.
Colonel, the incident happened yesterday around 4 o'clock. Can you just touch on, it sounds like within 12 hours, you had a person of interest. Can you just talk about
Correct.
that?
It's
That's
just
a short window.
It's hard work. It's just, it's like, it's all hands on deck. An incident of this nature, I think, takes a lot of resources. I think the fact that we work closely with our federal partners and different municipalities, the men and women of the Providence Police Department, the detectives, outstanding work, and I think that's why we have been able to move forward as we have in progress in such a fast manner in order to have somebody detained at this point.
President Paxton, please,
if you... What basis are you detaining this man, and how long do you have to further the investigation until you either have to charge him or release him?
Again, a situation like this, we have basis enough to bring somebody in based on a lot of different facts. And so those facts are the ones that are allowing us to have that person detained at this point, which I cannot comment as far as what those facts are.
Oh, we have a question from President Paxton
President Paxton,
how long do you have to charge him before you have to release him?
Again, it's moving pretty fast, and we will have an answer as fast as we can. So.
President Paxton, if you can, we know that these students were studying for their finals in the midst of their schoolwork here, and now students have been told classes are canceled, finals are canceled. Can you talk about kind of the complete shift that this community is in right now, going from studying to now almost a ghost town as people are being reunited with their families?
Yeah. So thanks for the question. It is a big shift. and not the way we hope to end this semester, obviously. You know, I was in what we call the Ratty, or main dining hall today. There were a lot of students gathered there. They are amazing, and they're supporting each other. So they're good.
Talk to me about the emotions you're feeling right now, because you care for these students.
Yeah, I do. And, you know, right now I think, as the mayor was saying, the students in the hospital, I talked to all but one of them, the students on campus, there's just a lot of gratitude right now, and they're remarkable.
All right, that's it for now. We will keep you posted on future updates. Again, our expectation is that this is the last update here at the Brook Street Fire Station. If you are not yet on Josh's press list, Josh, raise your hand. He's there. That's how you will be apprised of future updates, and our expectation is that we'll be at the Providence Public Safety Complex for future updates. Thank you very much.